Well, after uncovering the damage, here it is. We had issues with the slide out before we even moved in, sliding in and out. Basically, you can see as I stand on it, it's like opening up. I can literally just kind of press it out. So I'm going to replace this floor, replace this bottom board, probably reinforce this back wall, throw some adhesive on it, epoxy or something, re-insulate it. It'll be a good time. Firstly though, we gotta, since it was all buckled up, these bolts here, this you can't hardly even see because they got ripped out. These are shoulder bolts. They have, well, maybe not shoulder bolts, lag bolts. No, I don't remember what they're called. Little squares on the head, you know. Well, anyway, so those reinforce this floor so as it pulls in and out. It stays secured to the rail. I'll show you down on the bottom. So here's that damage again. That's the sunlight you can see. But yeah, those bolts hold it to this rail, which reinforce it sliding in and out and keeps it secure going down the road and all that. But I'm gonna have to break off every one of those bolts. So be a good time. I mean, the floor on the bottom looks pretty okay other than this. Like when we bought it, all this was covered, so I could kind of tell it was a little bit soft, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And yeah, it kind of came to bite me. I wish I would have been able to tear some of this plastic off and see it. But other side's not too terrible. But it is all messed up from it trying to buckle on that floor that they put the wrong size in. So yeah, first thing I did though is secured the outside here. Just utilized, there's trim that goes along the sides too, and I pulled out a couple screws and I substituted those with these, so it'll make maybe the holes a little bit bigger, but you can probably just throw in some caulk and it'll seal it right up. And then so that's to support the outside, and to support the inside so it doesn't sink. Because basically this whole wall basically pivots, or this, I guess this trim ledge here, it pivots and then that holds it secure. So if it drops too far, especially when the floor, I rip the floor out, it's going to probably just fall right out. Alright, so I got all that cut. Don't you worry. Yeah, I cut through this. That was intentional, because now I don't have to cut it with a reciprocating saw. I gotta break these down and throw them away. But next step is to assemble the floor in a drier environment. As you can see, we got a lot of ice and fog last night, which unfortunately soaked into these boards and made them kind of bow. They were relatively straight when we put them in, or got them, but yeah, we'll get it out. We might have to be creative with it. So yep, that's it. got the floor done. Well, floor out. It was a rotten mess all around the sides. But the middle part was actually in relatively good shape. But it was just, there was so little that was in good shape, but it wasn't really worth keeping the whole thing. Especially when I got brand new plywood to put down. So yeah, in case you didn't know, this is kind of how a slide out works. Basically, your floor is bolted to your slide. This will go in and out. And yeah, it just moves everything else on top. Pretty simple. I've been kind of messing in this area a little bit because it almost looks like the floor is almost too high, because the slide out is as high as it'll go up there, but it still sits really low. And so then as I was digging into it, I was noticing there has been a bit of work done here, because you can see it by the fresh board here. Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure. So I'll probably dig into that a little bit. I keep getting sidetracked with it though. Yeah, so this camper's in pretty rough shape. Not gonna lie. Not near as good as I thought it was. So there's gonna be a lot more work to get it sellable, so somebody could use it as a camper, not just as a house. Because as a house, it doesn't really matter if these things slide and you can fight them. That's how we bought it. It was kind of with a fight, but we didn't think it was that big of a deal. Now we know. So I fixed the bottom here, put that 2x6 in. That plywood there is a moisture barrier, and then also it's a good way to anchor those 2x2s that are still good up in the wall to that baseboard. It'll also give the floor quite a bit more to eat into, versus just the 2x2 that was there. But yeah, so quite a bit more to do, but the progress so far. But yeah, look how much higher that side is to the floor, and there's this side. So I don't know. That board ended up falling out when I was messing around. Slide out is staying just fine. So yeah, I tried moving the slides in to kind of help just yank this down. Oh, this is something else. That's how bent that is. I have to unbend that and readjust it. Previous owners, to get around this, they just loosen this and just let it wobble. So not hugely happy. Now I know what to look for when I'm looking at campers, though, that's for sure. But yeah, see this. I mean, it can go up a little bit, but I mean, there's not. It's like 3/4 of an inch max, and that floor is about 3/4 of an inch. Let alone the 3/4 of an inch. Basically, it has to be like about 1.5 inches, because of the 3/4 board that goes on the bottom, and then the 3/4 board that's on this floor. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm almost worried that maybe the trailer might be bowed. Yeah, we won't worry about that for now. Okay, that's progress. Well, so after getting off the camera that last time and talking to myself, I started thinking, I wonder if this wall is sagged. It didn't look sagged. Looked at the roof, it was all good. But then, ta-da! The floor is very sagged, which is a little bit better than it was, because I kind of got into freak out mode. That's kind of a big deal. So I started jacking up with the old farm jack, and I'm probably gonna try bending that out a little bit and introducing some sort of brace, probably to go, because these braces here are very thin. They're like maybe an 1/8 inch thick. They bend really easily, and so I'm probably gonna put like a couple pieces of maybe square tubing between that side and down here on this I-beam or the trailer frame, and that should that should help keep that up. This back wall, when I first got it, was really rotted out, and you can tell he rebuilt the back side actually really pretty decently. He didn't rebuild these sides. I think he just got as far as getting it like sellable, because he got all this waving and delaminated fiberglass, which if it's fixed, it doesn't really matter. It looks goofy, but it doesn't really matter if it's not rotted. Yeah, he fixed his back wall, but he didn't fix this. So get to figure something out for this. Good thing I know how to weld. Very few people know how to do or fix something like that. Even the slide out, I talked to the trailer place in town. They repair campers and stuff like that, and they wouldn't even replace the floor because it's too much work. So here I am, replacing floors with the old Brio. Hi, Brio. So, yeah, I'll maybe do some time lapses and we'll press on. Just wanted to show you guys that when you're looking for campers, make sure your back walls aren't just collapsed, because I should have seen that, but it was dark when I got this, so oh well. Alright, so I think we're set to start welding. I decided to put a brace between that spot there and up here, kind of where that deal mounts. I happen to have some 1/4 inch channel iron that I was able to just cut some angles on, and it should go on there relatively smoothly. But I'll only be able to fix this front side, which is fine because I'm mostly focused on the slide out right now. When I get time and once I move it over to the actual welding spot, I can do the backside. Backside's not all that terrible anyway. Back here, my little welding setup. Got welder on a cart, generator, battery packs because I use that generator so little and it's got electric start. And yeah, I'll set this to time lapse and show y'all how it's done. So just for a few random things that you may have missed. Well, I know you missed because I didn't have the time lapse going. Just a lot of little things. There's a board on the back of that trim there that I went ahead and took off as a piece of OSB. And that's basically there to kind of create a backer for the plastic trim there. So I can screw into that. I got rid of that, and then I used part of the floor. It's 3/4 inch thick, pretty heavy duty, and I went full length because then I figured we can also tack down some of the edge stuff as well, and I had it, you know. Then I secured that piece there. I got it to the right height, or just match the other one. We'll probably have to adjust it once we do the slide in. This is now the correct height. And then I put that floorboard back in, replaced the OSB with some plywood since it's just kind of a smaller piece, and of course since I had extra. Then of course you saw me glue this, and I bought this shoe, I don't know what you call it. It's like a tarp-like material, underlayment, maybe you call it. Basically, you put it on the bottom side of the board, so that moisture coming up or any moisture from the bottom doesn't wick into your floor. Which is also, I think, why this one fell apart. It looked like somebody like tore that thing all up, which could have also been because that side was all uneven, so it was just sliding on random screws and bolts and whatever and tearing it up. But yeah, I think I had to redo this edge just a little bit. I trimmed back this transitioning piece and the carpet lining, this carpet lining here. Basically, it's like acts as insulation for the slide out, so you're not going to draft on your feet, and so you're keeping your air in and other air out. Yeah, that's the progress so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean some of this stuff up, and we're gonna throw this floor in. So I think it's ready. There's inevitably gonna be something not right, but basically I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna probably slide the slide out just about halfway. Then I'm gonna screw the bottom to this wall so this wall has a support. That's how I was struggling taking that last piece out earlier. But yeah, screw the floor to the wall, slide the slide out almost all the way out. Well, actually probably all the way out, because due to now the thickness of this board. And then I'm gonna drill holes from the bottom, throw some can't ever think of the name of those bolts. Come on. Throw some bolts in that rail attached to the floor, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so stopped videoing yesterday because I kind of ran out of daylight. So, I was really just doing little things. Put the carpet down, got this couch over, cleaned up quite a bit. Still have tons of crap everywhere, but put that panel up, stuffed it full of insulation, and yeah, I also had to work on the slide out functionality. It was binding a little bit, which isn't a huge deal. I just had to I had to raise it for some reason. It was lowered way too much, and it was binding on the floor coming back in, but it wasn't a big deal. It would just power out basically. Then I also had to correct some of this. So with this type of flooring, especially with slides, you have to put your transitioning strips down, otherwise it'll just pull up the edges of the flooring. The problem with that is you got these stupid nails that really don't they don't stay in very well. They'll start backing up and whatever with motion and everything. So then on the side here, where all the weight from the wall and the ceilings and all that comes down, just putting extra weight, and so it was really gouging into the nails that were here, so I had to put screws in there. And then I also took some of the old flooring, and because it was still just kind of catching on this fabric stuff, and kind of ripping it up. So to prevent ripping it up and causing the same issue that we had before with rotting the floor out, decided to put this flooring down. Just finish nailed it with the nail gun and everything to the bottom, and it slides really nice now. So I'm gonna show you how it slides. Makes a bunch of funny noises, but I think it's just because its main functionality in life has not been sliding. But I kind of like this. I kind of like the sound. It's kind of like a nice, I don't know, popping sound. All right, so we're going in. So the first one that goes in is always that one because it's hydraulic, obviously. And so that one's the lightest, and it's got wheels on it. And then that one's the next one. That's about what I'm saying. That was kind of satisfying sounding. And once that one gets fully... Uh-oh. I ran out of power. Oh, there it goes. The camper wasn't plugged in last night. Just make it for the video, please. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to plug the camper in, so the inverter wasn't charging the batteries. Oh, so close. So close, so close. There it goes. Turns a big camper into a little camper. And those stupid walls in the middle. But, yeah. She's all smashed in, nice and even. Top and bottom. Gonna probably have to reinforce this trim a little bit because once it seals it, it's pulling the trim back just a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, next steps are just finishing off bracing that back wall, and yeah, some other little stuff with the trailer. I'm not gonna video it just because it's lots of little stuff. So nothing to write home about. All right, well, it was fun doing this with you.